In this clip, we're going to work on the log material, the screws, and the holders for the trunk. So let me go to our texture set list, and I will go for the logs here. So let me just zoom in here to this middle log, which is going to be the one that is going to serve us to be the basic preset for the rest part of the objects. So now I will go to our shelf, and what I want to do is basically drag this bronze armor to the layer section, so you can tell that this is applying this smart material. Then I want to see this with a little bit more of resolution. So I will go here to my texture size and I will pick 1024. Then I will go back to layers, and the next thing I want to do is go here, and on this search box I will type cobalt. And basically what I want to do is add a little bit of that bleach material in top of this bronze armor, so you can see that it's a little bit more opaque and it's going to work a little bit better for us. So now, based on this, what I want to do is just keep this material on the edges. So I will go here and create a white mask. Now that I have the mask, I will go here and add a generator. So with this generator, I will go to our property tab, and you can see that we can pick one from our preset. So the one I want to use is this MG fiberglass wear or edge wear, which is gonna give us, and let me just zoom in a little bit, this kind of nice pattern here of the fiberglass, but still keep a little bit of these edges. So I want to bring in a little bit more of the edges. So in order to do that, I will just basically try to compensate this here between the wear level and the wear contrast. And then the last thing I want to do in order to get these edges to work is I will play with the curvature weight. So this curvature weight will use the curvature map, as you can see here, to drive this on how much the edge or the edges will bleed into the object. So you can tell that we bring a little bit of that into these edges of this log. Alright, so that will give me a little bit more of these kind of nice cobalt borders. And then what I want to do is bring in our paint as we did on our borders of the trunk. So what I will do is I will step in this layer here. I will go back to our shelf and I will go here and type paint. So we know that this was the material that we used before. So I will just drag that one there. So we apply that to all the logs. And then what I want to do is get rid of this edges layer, which is this damaging part of here. So I will just go and select it and hit delete, and we keep only the painted part. Then I will go here to our properties tab and basically bring back our darkish color here. So I will keep it a little bit brighter, because just to give a little bit of variation, which is important. And then in this painted stained, I will go and mask this. So I will go and create a new mask here. And with this mask, I will add another generator. So with this generator, what I want to do is bring another preset. So I will go here and pick this MG Dirt. And with this MG Dirt, what I want to do is basically increase a little bit this contrast, and especially increase the dirt contrast here. Actually, I was playing before with the dirt level. So as you can tell, we're bringing this like a little bit of old paint, and then I will use the tree planer. All right, so this will behave a little bit better, because this will get rid a little bit of the edges or the seams of our UVs. So this is more like a 3D planar projection of this texture. So now that we have this, something else that you can do is play with this random seed, so you can tell that this is playing a lot with how the grunge is applied here. So right now, let me just double check what is going on with the other part of the logs. So let me just move our camera something about here, and you can tell that this one doesn't get that much paint, and this is something that we want to have. So I will play with the edge masking, because this will base, again, as we did in the previous material, the masking based on the edges of this object. So I will just try to get a little bit more of paint. So I will decrease that. So you can tell that the paint remains in the borders and give a lot of a story to this object. So right now you can tell that these objects are working quite well. Now what I want to do is basically use this material as a preset. So in order to do that, basically what I will do is get rid of this layer, And then I will go here and basically hitting Command G on my keyboard, I will group this object to be a single one. Then instead of folder 1, I will call this, let's call it logs smart material. And the reason I'm calling this smart material is because I want to go here and right click, and I will go and use this one or create a smart material based on this compound of materials. So I will go here, create a smart material, and you can tell now on your shelf that this new icon has been created, and this is going to be our material. So now the next thing I want to do is go to the screws. So let me go and change our texture set to the screws, and then go to the layers, and if we drop this material here, it will adopt the same parameters as these ones. So right now you can tell that it's fairly working. However, I want to do a couple tests here, especially with this paint material here. So I will grab this generator and I will hit C to see the color. So you can tell that it is pretty much peeled, and this is something I don't want. So in order to basically adjust this, I will just go and try to get rid a little bit of the contrast or bring back a little bit of the dirt level to these screws. So this will give us a little bit, or will help us to keep a little bit of the paint on these screws. So you can tell right now they are working. So let me just get rid a little bit more of that. So that will enhance that weirdness on the top of those screws. And then lastly, I want to apply the same thing for these holders here. So I will go here to our texture set, and I will go actually to this holder, and I will go to the layers, and I will drag that same smart material. So as you can tell, it's been applied, and then we can give also a little bit of variation to this one here. So we keep a little bit different each one of these three objects just by playing with this. So I will just increase this a little bit. I will decrease a little bit the contrast. So let me just go back something like that, and then try to get a little bit something into that feeling. Alright, so as you can tell, we have all of our logs, our holders, and our screws with the same material, very easy, very quickly, with some variations, and they feel that they all belong to the same world. So I will stop this clip here, and in the next clip, we're going to work on the holder or this handle of our trunk.